Hey everybody, Dustin here with Vici Vineyards. Hopefully my hair looks okay. It's a little blurry here with this camera, but nevertheless, I have been asked to give a bit of an overview of owner financing and kind of what it is, how you can find them, how we found them, and how you can use it to your advantage. So this will probably be a pretty quick video. It is pretty simple. If you want more content like this, please comment below. If you have ideas, if you have things that you've done, ways that you've identified to owner finance. I don't know everything. It's just we've found ways to do it ourselves, and so we wanted to share what we've done, how we've seen things, but we don't know everything. And so please comment below. Show us what you know. And even if you know partners who have done this before, I'd love to partner with other people to learn more and do it more often. It's a huge opportunity to grow your wealth and find opportunities that are just kind of different. And so with that said, let's jump into it. So we've owner financed as investors and we've owner financed as buyers. And so this segment will be specific as a buyer. If you're interested in how to do it as an investor, we can do that as a separate video because it's similar, but it's kind of just like a 180-degree twist. And so as a buyer, we found a property, and I'll show you how to find these properties. They're all over the place. You can find them. You can find them easy. I can find them. I'm going to show you live how to find one. A owner finance, what is it? It's where you don't get a bank loan. You actually work with the owner of the property who wants to sell it, and you negotiate terms directly with them, and you make payments to them until you own the property. And in the meantime, you put a lien on the property, or you can even do a warranty deed, depending on how you do it. You can have a lien of trust or deed of trust. Sorry, you can have a number of different ways of doing it. Engage a professional, engage a real estate agent, engage a lawyer. Whatever makes most sense. We used a real estate agent. They documented everything. It went through a title company. Like everything is, T's are crossed, I's are dotted. Everything works, very well when you use professional processes. And so I would encourage you to use a professional if you engage in this to make sure that you safeguard yourself. So what is it? I explained that it's a bank loan, it's a loan through the seller that you can negotiate terms directly with them. What's the purchase price? What's the down payment? What are the terms? Like, is it 30-year loan, 20-year loan? What's the interest rate? Is there a down payment? You can't. All of that is negotiable with the seller. It depends on how badly they want to sell it. What the property needs. Generally, you'll find that these properties just aren't financeable for many different reasons. Sometimes because there's more acreage, banks don't want to loan on them. If there's an older home on them, banks don't want to loan on it. If there's no foundation, banks don't want to loan. So banks have a lot of stipulations that restrict financing. And that's where owner finance becomes an awesome tool. And so how can you find these opportunities? I mean, honestly, I look all the time on Zillow and I use keyword searching. So I'm actually going to show you live how to find an owner finance opportunity. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to go to Zillow. And I'm going to go to buy over here. Here's an area that I'm always looking for like vacation areas. We have a home, and so I'm always looking for like cool places to own a vacation home. The difficulty with Zillow is, it's not international really, and so you have to look for places that are. I'm always looking in like Florida or California or sometimes Puerto Rico, areas where people typically frequent, because I think these are great opportunities for like Airbnbs or rentals or things like that. So what I do to find these opportunities is, so make sure you're on the for sale, then go over here to more, and you can kind of scroll down in here. Typically the owner finance ones are going to be either posted by an owner or an agent, actually the ones that are posted by an agent, you already have somebody who's ready and willing to write it up, and that actually is really nice. And so make sure those are clicked. Typically new construction or foreclosures, auctions, you're not going to find so many in there, but it's okay. Just go ahead and have them clicked, and then if it doesn't pop up when you search for it, it doesn't matter. So just make sure you have as many accept backup offers. If you find a really good opportunity and maybe there's somebody with a weak offer and they want yours, you might as well find somebody accepting backup offers. And then so you go ahead and scroll down, and the key here is going to keywords. And it's owner finance, owner carry, seller finance, seller carry. And so I kind of try all the different keywords. I typically start with owner finance. So I'll hit apply. And then if you can see we've got one hit. But you'll want to think about a couple things when you're doing this. First off, make sure you think about where you want to be. Is there an area you want to look for homes? And you may not find it. You should also be thinking about the amount of money that you can spend. These owner finance deals, typically they are completely owned by the prior owner. So you'll have to add property taxes in as an additional cost. You might have HOA, so like you can see here, this is a condo. There may be HOA fees in addition to the cost of owning it, and including insurance. So a lot of these things will be out of pocket rather than a part of the bank loan, and so you'll have to think about that when you're estimating your budget. And so with these keywords, you'll want to click on the property that's for sale, and then for the very first thing you do is read the description to make sure that it's actually referencing seller finance or owner finance or whatever the keyword is. And you can see here the seller finance might be available with 20% down. And so this is a $489,000 property. So 20% down is essentially just under 100 grand. So like 95 grand or something like that. And so that may be out of budget, but it doesn't tell you how long the period is, how long they'll carry it, how long they'll carry it for, what the interest rate is. And so, but considering they have it here, that means they're ready to negotiate. And so you could simply reach out to the real estate agent here, or also the realty. What I would do is send these guys, I would just text this real estate agent and say, hey, I see the property at this address that you're selling and you're offering it up for owner finance. What kind of terms is the seller looking for? And if I have a script template that I use, and I just literally copy paste and send it to all these agents. First off, make sure you include the specific address, because you will quickly forget which one you're referring to. So make sure you include the address, and then make sure you ask what the seller's terms are in the text. It can be something super simple, like, hey, I saw that you're the agent for this property. The seller is considering owner financing. I'm curious, what kind of terms they're thinking about to see if this might work for us. And so they will right away typically just give you the terms, and you can determine right away whether or not it's something you can afford. So you can see here there's an HOA, so you'll want to add $850 to whatever this price is. So let's say you don't have 100 grand to put down. So 489,000, you amortize that over 30 years at say 5%. This is probably, I don't have a calculator on me, but we can go to like mortgage calculator, and hang on. Usually one pops right up. Mortgage calculator. Hang on. Bear with me. Usually it's right there on the front page. That's weird. I don't like using these ones because they're very complicated. But they're usually really simple. Because these include PMI, and PMI is private mortgage interest or private mortgage insurance. That's stuff that bank adds to it so that it's, they're always looking to make a couple extra bucks, and that's what PMI is. So let's just use this calculator. So 400 and was it 98? It was 98,489. So 489. So 20% down would be 97,600. Let's say you saved 25 grand. A seller would definitely consider that. Trust me. Look at the interest rate they're trying to get you to do. That's what a bank would give you. We're going to go with 5%. Trust me, seller finance, they will consider 5%. Amortized over 30 years. Look at this. You could be talking about a $3,700 payment with a seller finance. But if it was just a bank, you're talking $4,300 plus PMI. They're always trying to rip you off. Anyway, so you could save a lot of money here. So you're talking about a $3,750 payment plus $850. I don't know what's that? $4,400 a month. Plus every year you're going to be paying property taxes. Where is this? Okay, right here. About $7,000 a year. Divide that by 12. That's like what, $600, something like that. So add $600 to your $4,400. So you're up to $5,000 a month. And so you have to ask yourself before you kind of get into this, do I have $5,000 a month to spend on this property? If the answer is yes, then you could proceed. Ask the agent, is this, can you give me the terms? What is the person looking to sell it for? This is kind of your starting point. You could even start even lower. See if you can put $5,000 down. Like as an investor, like if I own properties, I'm looking for the long-term pay, honestly. I'm looking for the long-term $3,800 a month for 30 years. So I'm looking to get $900,000 out of this over the 30 years instead of, $480 now. So I'm doubling my money. That's how I look at it. So as an investor or as an owner trying to sell this, I'm good with $5,000 because I'm going to get this for 30 years. And if you don't pay me, I just repossess the house and move on and find a new seller or a new buyer. And so as a seller, I would definitely consider this. So that's a way to find it. There are, I'm sure you could Google search. I'm sure there's other, there are other websites. You could go to realestate.com, redfin.com. Like there's so many other websites that have this. I just always use Zillow because, I just start blasting, keywords, looking to see different options. So I was just looking in that area. Look, there's 9 results for owner finance opportunities. So there's even one here, 255,000 versus 500. So if you've got a small 2-bed, 2-bath, looks like what? It's even got a water view potentially. Heck yeah! Look at that! Look how close that is to the water. Clearwater, Florida, amazing place. Been there. If you've never been there, it's pretty beautiful. Look, it's ready for a facelift. So if you're looking to get equity real quick, this house or this condo is ripe for a quick makeover. It needs some love, but the location looks great. One thing I always like to do is also to look at comps. So I always try to look at the Zestimate. It appears to be kind of on par with the Zestimate. Again, that's quite a bit of HOA for the value here. And so think about if that's something that you're interested in. But so I scour Zillow. I look for the best opportunity. 18 grand. What is that, like a mobile home? Interesting. 18 grand. See, this thing, it's probably like a manufactured home. Yeah, it's a manufactured home. And these are the things that aren't really financeable, and so these are prime for owner finance. Cute little place. So if you don't have $25 grand, or if you don't want a $500,000 home, this could be a good opportunity. So, 90 grand. Let's see what the space rent. So seller finance available with an acceptable offer. So they're basically saying, make me an offer. So that's great. Lot rent is $700 a month, which includes water, sewer, and trash. This is a 55 plus community, so you have to keep those things in mind. But man, I'm telling you, there are so many opportunities like this. So let's go to Oregon. Let's see if we can find another vineyard. So I'm gonna add vineyard owner finance and see, are there any other opportunities out there? Look, there appears to be a bunch. It's all about keywords, and so it's kind of tricky. Sometimes it's like, hey, there's an opportunity for a vineyard, or there's enough land that you could build your own vineyard. Maybe that's what you're into. I don't know. Maybe you're looking for a vineyard that's already in existence. So let's see here. I mean, that looks like it's probably got a vineyard on it. Out in McMinnville. Dang, yeah, it's got a vineyard on it. That's cool. So 875K. Let's see what they say. So 21 acres overlooking 15 acres of mature Pinot Noir. That's a pretty sweet little gig there. No. So it's got a fixer farmhouse. That's probably why I don't see a reference to owner finance. So I'm not sure why this triggered, but hey, doesn't hurt to ask, right? So 875K, they're right in line with what the Zestimate is. It looks like a nice older home. 5 bed, 3 bath, 1,700 square foot, 21 acre lot with what appears to be producing Pinot Noir, which is pretty cool. So if you're in the wine biz or want to be in the wine biz, this could be an option. At 875K, you're probably looking at, let's see, 875. I mean, let's say you put 10K down at 5%. You're looking at, just under 7,000 for a monthly payment, 6,900, which could be a little steep, but if this is your, long-term investment, seven grand for a 21 acre vineyard, that vineyard probably is paying a good chunk of this. Just, FYI, if you think about the returns you're going to get from the wine, you would have to find a producer, a bottler, and a seller. But if you're selling the grapes, what is it? I mean, it's like 2,000 or 3,000 per ton, and you can get like two tons per acre. So you're talking 40 tons of grapes at 2-3. You could be getting 80, 90 grand, possibly upwards of 100 grand a year for that vineyard. That literally could be paying for your home. So those are just opportunities. I'm telling you, there are so many owner finance opportunities out there that they're just right for the picking. I just don't think people don't think that they're out there. They don't think it's possible. There are so many options out here that you can find. I mean, you just got to go find them. And Zillow is prime for this. And I think the trick with owner financing is you have to be willing to accept rejection. 9 times out of 10, they're going to say no. Because I've asked a lot of people who don't specifically say that they'll consider owner finance terms, but if it says it in the listing, you've got a pretty good opportunity. So be prepared for people to reject, but just move on to the next one. Be okay with not having the perfect home. or the perfect opportunity. Maybe that is just an opportunity for you to get into it, learn the kinks, and flip it. Figure out why it wasn't financeable, fix it, and then sell it, and then do it again. Or maybe use that as an investor to owner finance somebody else, and then you can create this cycle where you are getting real estate opportunities, you are getting income from flipping it and finding new buyers, and so this can actually become a business, finding these gems, because trust me, they're gems and people want to buy them. So you can find them, kind of clean them up. A lot of these need some cleanup. Get them clean, find a new buyer, get money, income producing from it. Heck, man, you could probably buy one of these vineyards, take the vineyard, separate it out, sell the house, keep the vineyard, making money on the vineyard, making money on the home. There's so many opportunities. You just got to get creative. They are out there. You can find them. Trust me. You can find tons of them. Just be careful. Make sure you get everything in writing. Get it in a contract. Do it with either a lawyer or the real estate agent. Just protect yourself. Because some people can burn you. Just make sure you safeguard yourself. So there are opportunities to do this. If you want help finding some, I love doing this. This is fun. I'm ready and willing to jump on a call, or if you send me some parameters, I'll see if I can find any opportunities. There are a bunch of them out there. So what I would do is, let me challenge you to jump on Zillow, go make sure you're on the for sale tab, go to the more button over here, go down, add keywords that you want, and then look for owner finance opportunities. My challenge to you is do one of these a week, and not just find one, but actually reach out to the agent and ask about it. Ask what their terms are. If you want a script that I use, like a template script that I send to these agents asking about, what are the terms that you guys would be considering? If you want one of those scripts, please leave a comment asking for it, and I'd be happy to share. I literally send the same script to everybody, but I make sure to include key data so that I can make sure I don't lose track of them. So if you want that, comment below. If you enjoyed this video, I know this is kind of random. It was on a whim, it was a request. And so if you liked the video, please give me a like. If you enjoyed it, please ask for more. There are definitely more ways of doing this. I'm happy to learn. If you have other ideas, please share. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe. We'll be doing a lot of things like this. We can think of it as this is like the buyer version, and then we could do a flip side, which is the investor version. I have some other ways of finding real estate that we buy, through foreclosures. We buy from tax auctions. If those are of interest as well, please maybe use keywords down below in the comments. Say tax auction if that's of interest to you, foreclosures if that's of interest to you. So that will help me think about what types of videos should we do in the future. This was just a request from somebody, so thank you, Beth, for reaching out and asking for this video. If this was helpful, please like, subscribe, and watch us on the journey as we build our vineyard, which we found through this process, this exact process. And so, yeah, we're excited to be on the journey with you, and we plan to show as much as we can. Trying to be as transparent as I can, because I don't know that a lot of people are super transparent, but it's very easy. And it's very doable. So please like, subscribe, and ask for more. Thank you. Have a good day.